So welcome back. Welcome back. I am so excited because now today we're going to meander over to the Arlington community. And this is one of our very sought after communities in the DMV area. And we're going to do a deep dive into the latest market trends in Arlington, Virginia. Now, a lot of times I like to look at specific housing types, be it condo, townhome, single family homes. But today I just want to look at the market in total. And as always, I'm going to pull the curtain back and we're going to share these statistics and reports and graphs and charts. So this, as always, is going to be a video that you're going to want to tuck away. You're going to want to come back to, especially if you're looking at that Arlington community or looking to invest or to buy or sell or what have you. It's going to allow you to make an extremely informed decision. And I think that it's so imperative that we look at what's happening with our economic and our global sector, and look at it as to how it actually affects our local real estate market. So when we look at what's going on with the Federal Reserve, we're excited because they have reduced our interest rates, and by cutting the interest rates, it has impacted our communities, and especially a community like Arlington, where our price points are a bit higher. So it's not always as easy to enter into that market. It has positively impacted this community, our buyers' effectiveness or their ability to be able to financially afford the Arlington community. So those lower mortgage rates allow them more buying power, and it's great for our sellers because now our buyer pool can grow. And for a community like Arlington, where it's so robust and people are so interested in it, many might say, well, what's the big deal? But, as a home price goes up in value, our buyer pool sometimes can shrink. So when our interest rates come down, it just allows for, more activity, which is fantastic. So here we are at the beginning of the fall, and we recognize that our interest rates have come down. And really, the understanding is that what the feds would like to do is, through the end of 2025, we would have eased up by about 250 basis points. So if this continues to happen and our interest rate continues to trend downward, it really will positively impact our communities. And as we have individuals who are, the DMV area is so transient anyway, but we're going to have an influx of individuals coming in. And so that's just going to give us a larger buyer pool, which is fantastic. So as always, my name is Natalie Dean. I am your go-to realtor for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And I aim to provide you stats and market data. And I take this stuff very seriously because when you are making a decision, real estate, it's an emotional decision. It is. But more importantly, what should be at the top of the leaderboard should be, what are the market trends? How does this affect my bottom line? How does this affect our generational wealth? How does this affect, our retirement and so forth? So that's why these market stats and these data trends are so important. And so I do my absolute best to provide value-driven content for my viewers, for my clients. And for those of you who want to know about targeted communities, they want to know about zip codes, about particular housing types, well, I'm your go-to girl for real estate on YouTube. And if you want to know anything specific in an area that I have not covered, call, text, DM, drop me a text, send me an email, leave a comment. I check the comments, leave a comment. And I want you to interact with me. I want you to leave me your feedback, but I also want you to tell me if there's an area that you want me to cover that I have not yet covered, because I'm here to inform you. And I feel very strongly about that being my responsibility. So let's dive in because your time is valuable, and let's look at this market. So Arlington real estate market is very stable. Our average listing price is $872,000. And in this video, we're going to cover what our average day on market is as well, and what that actually means for you as far as being a buyer or a seller or an investor. But one of the things that is driving the stability in Arlington and driving it as such a strong market is because of its ongoing tech environment and trends like what has developed there in Crystal City with the Amazon HQ2 and other tech-related investments that we'll get into later on in the video. Those things have kept the Arlington market in extremely high demand. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a cooling off period anytime soon. It continues to thrive, and even in prime neighborhoods like Boston and Clarendon, where the houses sell very quickly, despite the fact that our prices continue to rise, there continues to be an extremely high demand in those areas. And so overall in Arlington, on average, our square footage price is about $487 price per square foot. So it really does reflect Arlington's appeal for its economics and its thriving tech community, as well as the cultural activity that exists there in Arlington. But before we get into any additional amenities in Arlington, I want to share my screen with you because, as always, I want you to be able to see what I see and see what I show my sellers when I go on a listing appointment to help them to make, a wonderful decision or the best decision to get their home sold in the shortest amount of time for the highest dollar. So let's look at some of these analytics. All right. So, folks, we're just going to look at it overall. I always like to look at, our snapshot overall. So, there for our closed sales, we're at 188 in August, here in August. Our average, our 5-year average is 242. So we're down just a little. And again, this speaks to the mortgage, or excuse me, the interest rate hikes that, we had continued to receive month over month almost. There was 11 hikes really between 2022 and 2023. So, and also the aggressiveness of our inflation. But by and large, our closed sales are still very high in the Arlington community. As far as our new pendings are concerned, so pendings just for the month of August, 151. Our active listings is 293. So we have a good amount of inventory there in Arlington. And yet our month of supply still dictates that we're at a seller's market because it's only at 1.6%. So if we go over here to our snapshot for the month of August, I think it's really neat to be able to look, kind of do a projection of what has happened over these last 4 years. So in 2020, we actually had closed sales of 295, and our pendings, this is again a contract snapshot. So this is properties that are under contract as well as properties that have closed in the month of August. So in 2020, in total, we were at 601 in total as far as our contract activity is concerned. And we've actually seen a downward trend. And I think a lot of that is due to the fact that our price points are pretty high in Arlington and they continue to trend upward. So there in 2021, we see our closed sales being at 299 in the month of August and our pendings being at 290, total contracts 589. 2022, we were at 236 and our pendings were at 220, total contract 456. And then it came right on down in 223. Now, also, these are our pandemic years. So remember, in our pandemic years, it was very important as to where we lived. Our nest was everything. Our market was hot. Our interest rates for, 800 credit scores was sometimes dynamically, in the high ones and low twos, which was historically unbelievable. So this sometimes is not always a fair assessment. I think that, when we look at coming out of the pandemic and then we looked at last year and this year, we're seeing a more balanced market. And so this year, as we look at it, we get to see that here we are in the month of August, our closed sales is 188 and our pendings is 154. So our contract activity is at 342. So when we look at our closed dollar volume, just in the month of August, we're in $162 million. Our median sold price is $677. And again, folks, that is just for properties, all the properties. So a single family, townhome, condo, median sold price is $677. Average sold price is $869. So the difference between the two, remember the median sold price is going to be, what's right there in the middle of the pack. Whereas our average is we're going to take basically both ends of the spectrum. So I like to look at that average sold price because that really does give you a good picture of just how strong that market is and really what the price point is like at Arlington, it really is one of our higher price points here in the DMV market. Our average days on market is about 23 days because, when you get to a higher price point like this, you get sometimes also into jumbo financing and things like this. Sometimes it can take a little bit more to close, but still 23 days on market just shows you that we have a lot of conventional buyers and very, very strong buyer community, good credit, 700, 800 credit scores. Our average price per square foot, $497. I think that's very interesting. Where our median statistics and our average statistics can vary sometimes pretty drastically. Here, when we look at the price per square footage, it's pretty spot on. So our average is at $497. So year over year, we continue to see an uptick, whether it be our price per square footage. Some of our days on market have gone up as well. And our actual pricing has to some degree gone down, and that can be good news. And with the pricing maybe leveling off just a little bit, and then also our interest rates coming down, that's great for our buyer pool. But still very much a seller's market. So, it's nothing to be wary about because our sellers really are in control in the Arlington market. Now we're going to come back. We're going to stop our screen share. We're going to come back and we're going to look at some specific areas within Arlington. But for now, let's just kind of talk about what are some of the things that can be found in Arlington. Why is it such a attractive community? First of all, it's proximity to DC. It's 10, 12 minutes from DC. If it's that, like some of Arlington literally sits on the DC line. So it's like, a 10-minute walk, a 2-minute jaunt if the traffic is not bad. So it's a vibrant lifestyle, many, many amenities with high-end shopping, dining in the Clarendon area, a bustling nightlife, the art scene that exists in Roslyn. So there really is something for everyone in the Arlington community. People love the Cinema and Draft House. It is a very fun place to go on a Friday evening or catch something on a Saturday. The observation deck at the CEB Tower, that's a unique experience as well for residents and visitors alike. And there's just a myriad of things to do in Arlington and a lot of attraction and a lot of draw there. So again, we had talked about the fact that in Crystal City, we have the Amazon's HQ2 and related projects. And the area has added, thousands of jobs, continues to be a driving factor. There are major developers that are coming in and making billion-dollar acquisitions for multifamily properties. And again, this just underscores the confidence that investors actually have in the long-term growth potential of the area. When we look at Boston and Virginia Square, this particular neighborhood continues to be a popular choice, especially for our young professionals, because there's a vibrant social scene. There's excellent access to public transport, so they can quickly get downtown to a job, to nightlife, to dining, to shopping, and everything else. And then there is the redevelopment of the Boston Quarter. So there's new luxury condo projects. And so that's just only going to continue to boost sales and to continue to boost the value of the market even further, as far as not only the volume, but also how much our property values are going to be. When we go over to Bluemont and Dominion Hills, these are some of our family-friendly neighborhoods. There's high-quality schools there. It's a family-friendly environment. But these markets have also seen a steady appreciation in these single-family homes and steady appreciation to really rising home prices. And yet the demand continues to be very strong because you are near top-rated schools like Yorktown High School and Washington Liberty High School. So, some of these are blue ribbon high schools. They really are a driving factor. Individuals want to make sure that their children get the best education available. So let's shoot back out and look at our charts just one more time and see, why Arlington is such a balanced market. I'm going to share a few more statistics with you. And this time I actually want to go over to our charts. And again, we're looking at all home types. And let's just start up here with market activity. So when we look at market activity for our new listings here in the month of August, we are at 169. We're down from August 2023, but a lot of that, again, is the volatility that has happened with, not only our rising, our interest rates, not knowing, which way they were going to go, but also all of that rhetoric that was happening with NAR, and all of those things now have been put into place. And so that's been put to bed, and we're ready. We're full steam ahead. So now, looking at our actual pricing trends, we look at our average list price is at $872,738. Huge. Let's look at our average sold price, $62. So just a slight difference. We're going to look at another matrix to see what is our list to sold price, but just shows you right there, all home types all the way across the board. We're at 869,000. So again, it's one of our higher price points in the DMV area, but there's a lot to offer there, and we always have really, really strong dollar volumes. When we look at our actual pricing ratios, again, let's look at I like to look at these average. So let's look at where our list price to our sold price was. So whatever we listed it for to where we actually sold it for. So in the month of August, we're at 98.9, but let's look here, 99.5 in July, and there in June and May, we were at 101. So all the way around, should you do all your due diligence, work very closely with what the market stats are for your particular home, your particular location, bedrooms, bathrooms, and actual, renovations and trends that are happening, and you look at where your property is in relation to those, you could expect overall to get almost on spot. If you list in line with where the market is, get almost on spot with, what you've actually listed the price for, or the property for. Let's look at our days on market. So when we look at our days on market, our average contract to settle, 33 days. That's not bad at all. And then when we look at our average days on market sold, 23 days. So really, that's pretty incredible, right? So 23 days on market, but then once somebody pulls the trigger, maybe only 10 more days. That's what happens with a conventional market. These individuals are serious. They have the cash ready to go. And so the cash meaning, they have very good credit. They're very financially solvent and stable. And so their ability or their lender's ability to close on the loan 10 days. That's just almost like having cash deals. It's just an amazing market. And then lastly, let's look at our supply and demand for all home types. 0.64%. That's our absorption rate. So that's high. That's amazing. And our months of supply, 1.61. So both of those really just show us that we are definitely in a seller's market in the Arlington community. Just, if you have a property there and you've kind of been sitting on the fence, not sure, be sure. And really just really doesn't matter the condition the property is in. You're going to get a great return on investment in that particular community. And also good to think about as an investor. So we're going to stop sharing our screen. And so then lastly, let's look at, we've looked at why the market itself is such a balanced market. We've looked at, why people just love the Arlington community. But, one of the other things is that it has such a strong proximity, like I said, to downtown DC. But more importantly, Arlington has amazing job growth. Not only Amazon's HQ2, but also Virginia Tech has an innovation campus at Potomac Yard, and that is a hub for tech talent. The Northern Virginia Transportation Authority is investing about $3.8 billion in infrastructure projects aimed at improving connectivity. This just aims at just enhancing Arlington's attractiveness as a place to live and to work and to thrive. So, overall, there's a lot of initiatives and there's a lot of money that's being put into the Arlington community and really bolstering property values. There's some revitalization projects coming up there at Pentagon City. There's going to be an expansion of retail and office spaces, and there's that redevelopment of the Crystal City Metro entrance. That's really going to, serve to improve the access and the mobility and really support Arlington's broader vision of a connected and very vibrant and urban community. So, what can we expect and how are all these things impacting the sellers in Arlington? The market is, expected to continue to increase. The feds are really signaling that they're going to shift towards easing these interest rates and holding them steady over the next weeks and months. And so for the Arlington community, this could only mean that it's going to become a more competitive market because the borrowing costs are going to be lowered, which is going to spur demand, especially among our first-time home buyers and our investors, because they're going to actually be able to afford the community and they're going to have stronger borrowing power. So, just so many things to look forward to. Should we look forward to the Arlington community with optimism? It's a resounding yes. The Arlington market is expected to remain strong with continued demand for not only local buyers, but also those who are relocating for work. And we're going to have a lot of influx over these next coming months. And with the potential for interest rates to stabilize or decline, we might see an increase in buyer activity, especially in the fall and winter months. And that's key because that's a time where overall, many times our market begins to level off. So, that's really something to think about, that if you thought, oh man, I missed the market, I got to wait till the spring. Maybe not. Stay tuned. And also go ahead and get your instant valuation. I have a link below. You can click on that. You don't have to get in touch with me. You don't ever have to talk to me, but you can stay informed as to what is going on with your property month over month. It will continue to update you and it gives you an instant valuation on your property. Now, again, if you want to get extremely granular, yeah, then you have to talk to me and you have to talk to me. You have to talk to me and see my pretty face. But if you don't want that, then, you can just get what is going on with my particular community and you can stay on top of what's happening with your community and know exactly to a large degree what your property could sell for. So that's all for today, folks, for a comprehensive market update on Arlington's community. And if you have questions or you want to discuss further how these economic changes can affect your buying or selling decisions, please feel free to reach out, call, text, DM, drop me a, drop a comment, whatever means you'd like to. Let's have a conversation. I'm here to provide up-to-date, valuable information and expert advice. And as always, I ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this information with those who also want to be informed and let them know that I have this link. They can click on it as well. They don't have to actually watch the video, but they can stay informed of their monthly, their valuation of their home. So on a monthly basis, you get an ongoing valuation of your home just by clicking the link in the description. And this service is free, to everyone. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. As always, make it a fantastic day.